Small time, my friends. Small time. A buddy of mine went off to college a few years back and ended up sharing an apartment-style res with 4 other gamers. At first, they were pretty cool guys, until I was invited to game with them. The entire lot of them were that guys, playing anthropomorphic characters, being chaotic random. One player had a custom-made vampire race that was stupidly OP, and only had an LA of +1. Shit had to stop, and I knew that it was my duty to stop it. I played a lawful evil human wizard who specialized in the creation of magical items. His character concept was that wealth was often equal to power, and what better way to make cash on the up and up by creating and selling gear catered to adventurers and the elites. Another quirk of his was that he kept a grimoire on him, in which he wrote the names of those he and the party had slain. If a name was unavailable, he would write a brief description, approximate age, and location of death. Whenever they'd stop in a major city, he would copy the most recent editions and deliver it to the mortuaries, as an act of respect to the dead. I actually made this book in real life and filled it out after every fight. I went full out on this guy and regularly made the party's equipment for 3/4 of the cost it would have taken them to buy it, often giving them discounts if it suited both of our needs. My only stipulation was that my loot be kept on me, and not with the party's funds. By the end of the campaign, I was several levels under the party, but I had a huge stockpile of gold saved up to buy a nice island somewhere and live a nice, quiet life. We finish off an evil Dracolich that was bent on world domination and are about to go our separate ways, when the party barbarian stops my character and demands that I give them back the gold they paid for their equipment, or he would kill me and take it from me. I tried to reason with the rest of the party, but they were all being greedy. It was 4 versus 1, and I wasn't allowed spells from outside the PHB. So none of the fantastic bullshit of celerity could save me, and the barbarian would unquestionably beat me on initiative if I got into combat. Resigned to my fate, I did the only thing I could do. I spoke to them. One last time. La-li-lu-lay-lo. Our cleric's armor suddenly burst into sunlight. The barbarian's weapons animated and began to attack him, while his armor locked in place, freezing him on the spot. The rogue was disintegrated on the spot as his gear spontaneously blasted him with magical rays. Within a round, the party was dead or incapacitated, save for my character, who calmly approached the frozen barbarian as he was hacked apart by his own weapon, pulled out his book, and flipped to one of the first entries. As I described this, I pulled out my copy of the book and did the same, turning it so that the rest of the table could see where the names had been scrawled on the first day I had met them. There was never any doubt in this outcome. I knew your greed would overwhelm you, and I took the necessary measures to stop you when it did. Perhaps if you had simply let me go, things wouldn't have gone as I planned. The table just stared at me in silence. I didn't play a very talkative role in the campaign, and usually kept what I did separate from the party pretty brief. They hadn't even known my alignment, as my evil deeds were usually of the subtle sort, such as unfair contracts and manipulating the party into doing what I had planned. After the final fight, I gathered the loot from the Dracolich's horde, including the materials and instructions required to make a phylactery of my own. The campaign ended with my character getting the credit for saving the continent and being lauded as a hero. The others were quickly forgotten, as I claimed that they had fallen under the influence of the Dracolich and been destroyed. The only legacy they left were their names scrawled in my book.